afternoon, and guess what? You're back with your girl, Marquita Beyond, with the Pink Link Podcast, and I am just so grateful to be here today. And your girl had to represent, so I was like, okay, it's pink and it's up because we're having a powerful, innovative, next level conversation here with these fellas. And so I'm going to go to my right and let Dave introduce himself. David.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be on the Pink Link Podcast. My name is Dave. Dave, with We Buy iPhones, LLC, the #1 broker in electronics for buying and selling electronics. If you have any brand new, used, cracked devices that you want to sell, reach out to me. Reach out to us. We pay up to $10K for electronics.
Okay, D.
All right, my name is D. Mathis, the owner of Shoe Solution 6, where basically you can actually make an offer on your shoes, clothes, or whatever I have on my platform. There's an eBay store with 1,500 listings. I want you to follow me today at Shoe Solution 6.
There we go. What's good, everybody? 7'5" in the building. I go by the name of Andy FD. Y'all can follow me at ANTEUPD_. I got the hardest beat, so I'll stop playing.
Hey! Okay, y'all. So we're gonna get into it and dive in with these guys. And so, as I did with the ladies, we discussed mental health, and it's similar topics, but in a different format, for the men. And so we got to get the man's perspective in there, take on these things. And so we're going to go with mental health first. And so I'm going to have to read from my notes. So, because your girl, hey, I got a lot of things. I can't be jotting everything down in my mental. And I want to say that right fast. Sometimes we don't take notes or thinking we can just load everything here. No. That's what you got pen, pads, and notes and calendars for, so you can relieve your brain and give it some breaks. And that's good for your mental health. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So mental health for Black men is at an alarming high, and for years it has been swept under shame, denial, and less resources. So what do you all do to maintain stability? And do you all have outlets for the time to express yourself, your thoughts and feelings without pressure, judgment, or expectations of who you are and your needs? Being mentally creative, emotionally, or whatever sector that is for you. Do you feel like you can do that as a Black man?
I'm going to let your man go first.
I mean, to be real, we're low-key numb to the stuff going on. So it's like your mental health could be, out of whack, and you might not even know it. You know what I'm saying? Even growing up in, certain communities, we look at it as being weak or, this or that. But then, if you really think about it, your mental health is very important. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, actually, I think that your mental space is the most important, right? That's why I read a lot. Even me and my youngest daughter, we read a lot together because I feel like I can be as strong as I want to physically, but if I'm brain dead or if I'm constantly battling depression, having bad thoughts, then I'm out of whack. There's no way I can, move forward in my business. There's no way I can grow my relationships with my family, the people that I love. So I'm always taking time. I always say at least once a week. Now I try to make it a business to do at least once a day, to do something that I like to do, something that makes me happy.
I like that. Growing up, I always thought being an adult would be playing house, just being a dad and all that job. But nobody ever tells you about the additional responsibilities, taking care of your mental health. It's you have an instruction manual that's 100 pages that nobody told you about. And then if you a Black man or if you just a Black adult, it's an additional 1,000 pages. That's why it's so important to find outlets to express yourself, to deal with the stress. For me, how I deal with my stress is about finding balance and making sure that I take care of myself, my well-being. So I do yoga, I work out, I box, and then I sit down with my friends and my family and we have a conversation. We just talk, we catch up. Let me know what's going on in your life. You let me know. I let you know what's going on in my life, and we talk about it because so many people try to just play Joe cool that they forget talking is therapeutic. So speaking for myself, I talk about my issues, the things I'm going through, and then I talk to other people about the things they're going through.
Right. Okay, I love that. And so what I'm gathering is that you all actually take your mental health serious. Some people feel like it's not a thing. I was in the store last night, and this guy, he was having, I guess, a mental health episode, and this guy was he just, someone was he acting crazy, and a young man said, oh, he is crazy. He just, he just showing out in the store or something. I was like, well, I don't know how to take it, but it was sad to see, and then, their perspectives on it. So, to look at it and laugh at it, or either to know, hey, something wrong with him, and it's not a funny manner.
No.
And so, when you were saying that you reach out to other people, so is this a back and forth thing that you all able to do with each other, or do they pull away? Do you find out that they're kind of like not wanting to open up when you're reaching out or about their feelings?
What I notice is certain people you can talk to. It's a organic vibe. I could talk to this person. They could tell me that they got furloughed or that they lost their job. Now it's the struggle of trying to figure out how they can get another high-paying job when the job market is tough. And you could be like, you can say all type of stuff. It's like, let me give you positive reinforcement that, yo, you got it. I know you could do it. Or let's say when I was in the hospital, they was coming to my aid. So it's like, I'm here for you, you here for me, but we could talk about it. Like, really, let me know what's going through. Like, let's remove the barriers of, you ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. Like, talk to me. I'm your brother.
Right.
Facts.
I know, because for some reason, a lot of men don't like to open up. So I'm glad to hear you all say that you all are able to open up with other men or with your family and stuff like that. So have you all ever been in a place where you weren't where you are, that you wasn't opening up and just was bottling things in or turning to, other things to just comfort you that wasn't good?
For sure. Like I'm pretty sure y'all know, like in certain like areas, you can't really talk about it. You're really on survival mode. So it's like, you feel me? It's like you talking about it, but now you weak. You know what I'm saying? Like if you in a certain area, like, so it's like, we really should be, like one of y'all said, we really should be sticking together and talking. Like it's important to be able to talk to your brother. You feel me? Like we can't grow as a community. We just on survival mode all day, not talking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
Right.
And you're looking at it like, it's like as if you snitching. It's just like, nah, like you did some dirt. I'm going to address it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my perspective is that still to this day, I'm still not all the way comfortable opening up, whether it's women or men, because I know now I'm a weapon. So, for example,
that's real.
I'm married, right?
Yeah,
I've been
that's
married
fine.
over 10 years.
Yes.
I've been married before, so it's my second marriage. And I know that if I'm always coming off what you call weak or expressing my feelings, then sometimes you can't go back once you hear certain things.
That's
Wow.
Once you know something, you know something.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And you
So-
got to be ready for that other person to receive that information.
And use it
that's
as a
fact.
weapon, because they
Yeah.
could bring it back a month, 6 months later, be like, you remember that time you said you was on
Yeah.
vacation? What'd you do?
Yeah.
Fact.
So, okay, so you sometimes as men, y'all don't think you can be just that vulnerable to people because you feel like it can be thrown back at you.
It is.
It depends on the situation. Like he was saying, a female could throw it back at you. Somebody could be hating on you because you got a certain amount of money or whatever the case may be. So it's like you kind of do gotta watch like who you talk to, but it shouldn't be like that. So
Wow.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's
Exactly.
not like, we make the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm always paying attention to what's going on. So, if this is how I got to be played out, then of course I got to hold some information back. You know what I'm saying? It's survival of the fittest still to this day. Yeah.
It's the best way that you can put it. It's like, it's certain things that can be said and it's certain things that you can't say. I can give you the synopsis, but I can't give you the whole full book, because you got people who would try to take what you're saying, and then, let's say in my family per se, they'll take what you say, go tell it to somebody else, and it's like, nah, I told you this in solace. I told you this between me and
I
you.
feel
And
that.
then you go back and then tell somebody else. Now it's all in the family group chat. So it's just be like, I'd rather just not even say.
Like, I'm getting like some wiles because I'm like, that's why so many black men, you can't get through to them sometimes because they feel like they can't be that vulnerable. And as women, like, I feel like we are. Like, we're going to express whatever our thoughts are. If somebody need us, we're going to call somebody and just let it all hang out. And just get that vulnerability. But as men, y'all feel like y'all just can't go. It's a certain extent of your vulnerability, seem like.
facts.
It's not really even an option to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm 100%
Yeah.
there.
I
It's
ain't
like,
gonna even play it like that.
you can't go back from being weak to being strong. It's like it was strong from the get-go.
So we're
That was
gonna
the
get to
only
that
option.
part because I'm thinking that's where the masculinity is. Like, we as women we have the femininity, but then with men, y'all have the masculinity. So, it's just only so much of the femininity y'all can use.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't feel like you got no femininity.
I think it just depends on like who it is and like what you got going on. Like them, I could talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but then like if I go back where I'm from, you can't really do that. Like then they gonna look at you as weak. Now you feel me? Like
Right. Some people don't understand the stages where you
Exactly.
and they might look at it in a different perspective when it's not being weak. It's me releasing, what I'm feeling, so I won't be feeling like this and then do something I shouldn't do to myself.
But see, that could be a hindrance because you get so many people who you've never done something before, and you feel like you should be A1 pro with it. You feel like you should be the best, but it's like you've never done it. How can you be good at something that you've never done? You're a beginner. You ain't even intermediate or expert. You are a beginner. Like, be comfortable talking and asking somebody, because you get a lot of men who they can't ask the next person for help because it make them look weak. And it's like, bro, that will expedite your growth.
Man, what? That's real.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is good.
I'm at the point I don't even care if somebody look at me as weak. I already know
Yeah.
what's up. So it's like I don't even care no more.
It's like
As far as like how they'll look at me, because like
right, you can't care, and that's what you have to come to. Like, it ain't just about being vulnerable, but it's about I can care less what you think because I know who I am.
Fact.
It's really
Yeah.
stepping into who you are. You get what I'm saying? So that's the garment you have to pull off. Like throwing this away.
Nah, for real.
Say what you want, think what you want, because I know who I am.
oh god.
So, okay, we're going to go into this, and this is something, really, like, I didn't even watch the video of it. I just seen a glance, but, and we was going to discuss it. So, when y'all see things as most recently Tyre Nichols, George Floyd, and acts against Trayvon and more black men facing police brutality, public harassment, and discrimination, how does that affect y'all too mentally? And do you have an experience? If so, how did you heal from that? And what measurements do you take to attempt being safe, if possible, from those type of things and triggering events? And rest in peace to all those who have been affected and victims of such tragic events.
Like I said, we're numb to it. So it's like I'll see the videos. I mean, it's RIP, but it's like we so numb to it. It's like kind of normal, which is not even really normal. And like I had a whole bunch of experiences with police. Like I got PTSD on some real stuff when it comes to police.
Wow.
Like if a cop pull me over, I'm gonna start shaking. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel you on that. I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
he's saying something like, even if I got insurance on my car and I'm driving, a police officer got red lights behind me, I'm like, do I got anything that I should know about? And making sure that I'm in a good place. So that way I can talk to the cop, not having to worry, because the minute you give a cop the opportunity to search you, they will try to find something.
nah, facts. I remember one time I got pulled over for no reason. And the first thing the cop told me when he opened the door, he was like, "Where the weed at?" And this was when I wasn't smoking, so it wasn't no weed smell, wasn't nothing on the inside. They actually,
Just stereotypically, you black, you a boy, you a man.
yeah,
Where the weed at?
he was like, "Where the weed at?" And then they told me to get out the car, and I had to do like a DUI test. I was sober, but I still had to do everything. And then the cop was just, I don't know, it was just for no reason, so it didn't even make sense.
Wow.
I mean, for me to speak on the subject is kind of weird because I done been in so many different situations. I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, my hands ain't always been clean. I made some bad decisions. I've been arrested plenty of times, been pulled over plenty of times. I had my car searched plenty of times. So it's just, I kind of know the procedure.
Yeah.
I know really what to say, what not to say now. I always treat them with respect when they come to the door. It's when they get out of pocket, then sometimes it can get a little weird, But at the end of the day, I think which is the most not hardening thing to comprehend, or really the good or bad thing, is that it don't matter what race, age the police officer is. It's always been a different experience. So I can't say, okay, I see this old white guy, he gonna treat me racist.
It's the person.
And sometimes it could be the black guy that got out of pocket. And it's like, I never know what I'm gonna get.
Exactly.
But
it's the person, not the color.
It's a situation where you just got to come correct. It's just, I'm going to address you with respect. You address me with respect. But if you come out of pocket, best believe I got my video recording you. So if you do try something, you are on camera.
And then, that's just like with Tyre though. Like, you got 5 black officers. Like, really? We gotta watch the cops, period. We gotta watch the white cops. We gotta watch the black cops. The Mexican. Like, where does it stop? When?
I think altogether, it's like a real tough situation when we see things like George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, or other black men facing police brutality. It's just heartbreaking to me. It's like, it's like stressing on my own mental. Like, I know for me, it makes me feel fat, makes me feel sad. It makes me feel frustrated. But I try not to jump to conclusions or cast no judgment because I don't know all the facts. Like, I don't know exactly what happened in every situation before I cast my judgment. It's important to remember that not all cops are bad cops. Like, you actually do got some good cops.
Yeah.
The minute something happened, that the normal thing to do was to call the police. So not all cops are bad cops, but the bad cops do make it bad for all cops involved in relation to like the multiple investigations, a lawsuit pending. It's hard to not be affected, but I think it's important to remember, like, nowadays, everybody got a cell phone. You got a cell phone, you got a cell phone, and the people watching, y'all got a cell phone, and the ability to record an incident. That's what made George Floyd so monumental. Somebody pulled out their phone, recorded it, and took a picture of it, because had she not took a video of it, we wouldn't know who George Floyd is.
No.
It was just been a
guy. And the thing is, like you're saying, this stuff ain't just started. This stuff has been happening before it became publicized, and especially within the Black communities, where they actually put the drugs and then start, the harassment, and the young Black man, and things like that for selling the drugs that they put there. So, I'm not saying that was right to sell drugs, but at the same time, we already know the story behind that. And so, hey, they put them in the poor communities and then start harassing the poor. And believe me, it's countless of numbers of Black men and women that have lost their lives to police brutality. It just started coming to the light because now we have more technology. Now we have phones to record and make it, make statements about it through social media and get attention calls to these types of things. So it's just sad, and I just continue to pray and uplift those families that have been affected by these, and those of you who may have experienced some type of tragic event such as this.
True. Like, sometimes I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, like, I make my own thoughts in my head, but I feel like in regard to the recent police brutality, I think it was he knew something or he had something on them.
That's what I said.
And
I said the same thing.
they tried to catch him.
Did he know something or something?
Like he was going to probably tell the truth, and it was like, we was going to get to you, but what had happened was they got caught on video.
Right. I don't understand how did they think. Like my mom always say, whenever you hit that door, somebody's watching. Somebody sees something. So I don't understand how they didn't even grasp that to not think it's a surveillance camera somewhere. Or somebody sits somewhere and they caught and start recording. Like, you just can't think somebody's not watching.
Like, back in the day,
somebody's
they used to do that
watching
all the time.
It's a sound. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Like, back in the day, they used to do that all the time before all these cameras and video and phones. They beat you and then get away with it. They would change the story on the incident report and make it seem like it was your fault when all you did was just walk across the street.
Or plant stuff on people.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Wow.
I guess I'll speak a little bit on the subject. One of them is, I heard this expression when I was young. What happens in the dark will come to light, right? And I also remember, when I call in the streets, when you're moving in a certain manner, somebody's always watching.
For sure.
All right, I'm gonna give you another perspective. Some people may not really comprehend it, but when you incarcerated, you watching the guards and the guards are watching you, right? There's another perspective. People are always watching. Even if you don't see it, even when you go to the grocery store, somebody saw you at the store that know you, follow you on Instagram. They just didn't say hey to you.
For sure.
But they saw you.
Somebody saw you.
Yeah, that's just how I move always. So I move with integrity. I think I've told people this before. Wherever I go, I pretend my wife is always with me.
Yes.
Now that's one
That's
to talk
good.
about as a marriage perspective.
The audience clapping
Nah, for sure.
yes. I wish more men got that.
That's a whole nother topic.
Oh, I think we're gonna kind of get there.
That's a whole.
But what you were gonna say something?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I agree with him.
But it was something. Oh yeah, in reference to somebody's watching you. For prime example, a garbage man wanted to try to tell me something he saw about, and that's me running to the trash trying to get the trash out at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he I'm like, he was like, where your husband? Where you put the guy? I don't know, where that guy? I'm like, it's 6 o'clock. How you know all that? Like, he been watching. He's been watching me.
He's been digging in her trash.
No, he hasn't. Don't say that.
We gonna get fired today.
I don't think she got no husband.
Okay.
Let me ask her.
I'm like, y'all, bye.
Yeah, he exposed himself.
The garbage has been out there before he come. The day before now. We ain't got time. Okay, so, are you all conscious of when you're tapping into your femininity? If so, how does that look for men? And this is kind of going back to that previous topic and, kind of in that same. So as men, do you all, like women, we be like femininity and we got to be in our masculine energy for this and feminine energy for this. So are you all conscious of differentiating the two?
Yeah, like when I'm talking to my mom and I'm trying to understand where she coming from on certain topics, you kind of got to. Yeah. Or if you're talking to your shorty or your wife, but that's about it. You can't really, as a man, you can't really be feminine in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you said.
And that's just my opinion.
I mean, I don't know. So in relation to the question of tapping into your femininity as a masculine man, I feel like we all have different ways to tap into your femininity or your masculinity. For me, being conscientious of my femininity means being in tune with my emotions. Like, am I mad? Am I angry? Am I happy? And knowing that I feel this way and being able to express it in the moment and not just letting it ball up. Because I'm one of the people where emotions could ball up and then somebody do something wrong and I just snap. So instead of being that, let me express it in the moment. It's also about being in touch with my intuition. Like, am I trusting my gut? Do I believe in myself? Being able to communicate. And my thing is, from being somebody who was a mute, who really didn't communicate when I was a kid, being able to communicate for myself and being able to express myself authentically, not just trying to go with the flow. It's on you, man.
All right. So I think just the word alone is a little weird for me.
I give it up.
All right. But
I give it up.
I'd like to try to use like alternate words, but I do believe that it has affected me over the years. I was a single father one time. I had 2 kids, 2 girls at the time, so that made it weird for me. I'm used to like always working and bringing home the bacon, but I was put in a space where, I had to start learning how to cook. I had to start learning how to do hair, so that softened me a lot. Like, wow. Hold up.
It was
thinking about it.
You
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to part hair.
Right.
Like, how this happened? Mentally, I'm like, what happened? Right? But still to this day, like with my youngest daughter, my youngest is 9 now. So every now and then we just color. And it made me think about what you were saying about like your mental space.
Right.
So it feels.
That feels great.
Yeah, just relaxing. You know what? We're just going to sit here and color. You know what I'm saying? Until we done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I also added with the coloring books, they educational. So it's going to let you know Martin Luther King, when he died, what he accomplished. So I can explain who he was, but we also coloring at the same time.
That's really dope.
And that feels a little feminine to me because that's not what I grew up doing. But I feel safe doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love that. And so when y'all mention like cooking and stuff like that, like I love a man that has that feminine energy. Like he can cook and throw down, bring that energy on.
Yeah, well, to speak about cooking, right? And I grew up, my granddad being more of a father figure for me.
Yeah.
I never seen my granddad cook nothing. I never seen him fix his own plate. Right?
Because some men feel like that's what a woman's supposed to do. Like that's feminine for them. But it's a lot of men that tapped into that. And that's great. And they can actually cook better than me. And some more and other women. So hey.
Well, it puts you in the mind of like me and my family. My uncle was the rib master. He would have the barbecue sauce mixed with his best salt vinegar recipe with a little bit of honey. It'd be the best ribs ever. And it's like, my brother, I remember as a kid, he was like, "Oh, Dave, you want to be a cook?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to be a cook. I want to be like my Uncle Paris. Like, y'all like his ribs, don't y'all? Somebody got to learn to cook. Somebody got to pass it on. Somebody got to be this person."
I want to speak on the subject a little bit more unless you got something to say.
Oh, no.
So, as I mature, like I said, I'm 43 years old now. I have my grandbaby 6 years old. So, I've seen a lot in my lifetime, and been in situations. Now, I truly believe that a man that know how to cook is a bigger resource to the family. Like it's even strong. You're more of an asset now
Yes.
versus I gotta sit back, wait for my wife to
Right.
bring me something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have some when she gets there, and it makes it a little easier for her too.
It also makes you a better partner if you're in a relationship because just like I need space to relax, she don't have to cook 7 days a week. She need to, come on, watch TV, do her feminine stuff, whatever she need to do. Let me get over here and figure it out. So what I do sometimes, since I still don't like to cook, let me just go scoop something. I go down here to Longhorn. You feel me? I brought it.
And then it provides more time for intimacy as well with your wife, and when you're in a relationship, some men think the wife should do this, and then do that. Like, hey, you gotta do all that. Help out some kind of way. If I can take a break from cooking, you can go buy something if I'm not cooking, or you make the meal, and that definitely helps the women as well. So
exactly.
It's a
win-win. I feel like as a guy, sometimes we be so focused on ourselves. Speaking for myself, I'd be so focused on myself that I'd be forgetting about my woman's needs. So it's like, baby, let me take some weight off of you. So instead of you just making the main dish, let me make the sides.
Yeah.
Let me help you out.
Wash the dishes.
Yeah. Let me put the kids to sleep. Let me help you out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tap in and say something else. I also look at it like this. It's like karma. When you give, it come back, right? So my daughter need to have the best version of her mom.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So if I'm taking stress off of her by cooking or whatever it is, maybe cleaning, now she has time to feed into my daughter. So I look at it from that perspective too as well.
Damn, I ain't even think about it like that. That's real though.
Yeah, I mean, again, he got some. He sees.
And everyone gets the best version of her. You get what I'm saying? And she ain't tired and stressed trying to figure out this and do this for y'all and do stuff for her. Just being a mom and a woman myself, like, that could be a lot. Somebody that's dependent upon you to do it all.
Exactly.
You're working, they're working. Then they want you to come home, get up, work, and cook every night. Hey, help out or buy something this night. You get what I'm saying? Like, it goes, I won't say 50-50 now. What y'all think about the 50-50? I don't think it's ever 50-50.
50-50 what?
In a relationship. I don't think it's ever 50-50.
I feel like it got its moments. Like,
for
the women who I have dated, some of the women who I have dated, they like for me to take the lead. Let me plan the day. Let me put the meal together. Let me pick you up. Let me take you out, especially if they doing their thing in their career. But there's other women who they want to plan the outing. They want to plan the vacation. I'm like, well, baby, go ahead. You plan the vacation.
So when that happens, how do you feel about her taking the lead?
I'm neutral. Like I could let her. I could be a yin. I could be a yang. If you want to take the lead, you take the lead. But I'm your man.
Oh, okay.
You know that if you taking the lead, that I'm gonna pay for things, that I'm gonna make sure you're secure, that we get from point A to point B safely. Okay. In comparison to me doing everything and you just embodying your inner femininity.
Okay.
That's just me. Like what I'm noticing. Like I ain't got no issue with.
Do you have a preference of you leading or the woman taking the lead? Is there a preference?
I could be both. Like I don't mind. Like if my woman wants to plan a date for us to go out for Valentine's, you plan a date. Or if you want me to plan a date, I don't mind it.
Well, it just don't matter. It is what it is. You nonchalant. Okay.
That's what's up.
What about you, man? How y'all feel? Because you got a wife, so it's...
So you're single? Because I didn't ask y'all, ask the ladies, and what's your status? What's your status? I didn't ask you your status.
I'm dating.
You dating?
I'm talking to
it's complicated. It's up right now.
Now, you said it's complicated and somebody watching, baby.
Entanglement.
Complicated and then ain't nothing happening.
It blow up. It's complicated, huh?
It's like, no, I'm single. This ain't my topic, man. We gonna just go there.
You had to ask me the question.
What was the question we was on again?
We was talking about like gender norms. Just how you deal with being a married man. How
do you deal with? Are you just the leader, or do you let your wife lead, or do you prefer either role?
I feel like it's in my best interest for us both to work towards our strengths.
That's good.
I do. Oh, my bad.
That's good.
But I'm always paying attention to it, even with my friends, whatever it is. Like, okay, for example, if my buddy a better executor, I ain't know. I'm gonna just be like, let him execute.
Yeah.
Or like if I
Right.
need to fire somebody, I got a friend that he's perfect for that. He
Yeah.
ain't gonna think twice. He'll be like, yeah, you fired. With me, I'm gonna sit there and might get to hesitate because I know that you probably need the job.
But
in
if you know
business-
if your wife is good at that, then you gonna let her lead and take that.
right. So
That's
for
what
example,
you're
like with
saying.
vacations, she usually pick it out.
Right.
She might say, okay, do you like this bedroom versus this bedroom?
Right.
What the view is? Let me see the view though
Right.
out my window. Can I see all the ocean? You know what I'm saying? But
I
yeah, you
like
got
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
got
so you
that.
let
I'm
her
not
lead in certain things that you know that's good for her, and then you lead in.
You gotta trust her judgment.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like the only time it should be 50-50 is like she's supposed to be helping me build mentally and spiritually and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be like, it should be like equal for both sides. Like I need to help her, she need to help me. Because if she just bringing value, I'm not, then that's dead, and vice versa.
Amen.
And some females don't look at it like that. They, you know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
they might just look for like, oh yeah, he doing this for me, he doing this for me. But are you helping me build mentally, spiritually? Can I really call you if I really need to talk to you about some real stuff? Because I've been in situations where I couldn't really talk to the girl I'm messing with.
Amen.
But everything else was good. Like the sex was hitting, you feel me? This was hitting, but I couldn't really talk to her on a certain level. So I just feel like I
That's
gotta
fine.
be
It
50-50.
gotta be more than that.
Oh,
It gotta
That's
be more
spot
than
on. Like
that.
I 100% agree with what he's saying. It's more than just sexual. It's about how are we as partners? Because it's like we got to navigate life. We got some high seasons, we got some low seasons. It's seasons where things is going good, but it's seasons where things is going great, and seasons where things is going bad. And when things is going bad, are you gonna up and leave, or you gonna be here in the trenches? As I figure it out, I take the lead, but we figure it out so that we can get back up to where we need to be. That's how I look at going into a relationship. Is like, are you my partner? Am I a sponsor to you, or are you my spouse? Are you? Am I your partner, or am I just your payee? Like where I'm just paying for your expenses.
Is she an asset or a liability?
Hey,
Yeah.
Amen.
But you know what? It's either or though.
It really is.
It ain't
That's,
in the middle.
Right.
What you mean by that though?
Asset and liability.
Yeah.
I mean, when you know the definition of them, to me, I think a woman is gonna help you or hurt you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
just how I
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah.
You should be
I
able to.
100% agree with that.
You didn't know that in like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh wow!
It take me like a month. It take me a
y'all
month.
getting ahead of yourselves. Y'all getting ahead of
Yeah.
yourselves because we finna go into that now.
all right. Let's
So,
do that.
okay, in relationships, we know it can be work. You know, as we sit here trying to distinguish these different sectors and roles each other play. So, how do you go about keeping that balance? And if you're waiting, fellas, and single because your queen is already done, like the king is, you know, what do you do to remain hopeful of your journey and finding that queen? And if you're married, how did you know your wife is the one?
That's a hell of a
6.
question.
You married. You gotta.
So
How
I
did
gotta
you know?
stand
And
up.
how
Yeah, you
long
gotta
did it
tell
take you
us
to know?
as
You
single
said
men,
30
like,
minutes
what it's
by
like to be
something. So
married.
within 30 minutes, I mean, love at
Well-
first sight. I mean, hey,
Well, I think within 30 minutes you can get a good judgment of what's going on.
wow,
Right.
of a conversation.
Yes, 'cause that's only if you are mature enough to start asking the right questions,
Yes.
right? And
Questions.
I feel you on that.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel you.
now
Me too.
I do I do believe that that's a disconnect with fellas, and I know that when it comes to like you were saying about feminine energy,
Mhm.
but if I really care about a guy, or if I want to sit there and give them some game, if they open minded to listen, this is what I always tell them: take 30 minutes, go on a date, and listen more. And you do no talking, just listen. Try not to think about nothing sexual.
That's
And she gonna tell you who she is. 'Cause
That's game
most
right there.
women like to talk
Nah,
anyway. I
that's
think
game.
Yeah.
they gonna tell them
You're
about
right.
themselves,
For
whatever,
We're being
at work,
told
whatever
to
happens.
listen to the man. So,
Right.
hey, somebody got to be talking.
Right, and that's why listening is such an important factor. I don't care if you're in business, marriage, whatever. Just listen; it'll take you very far. But going back to the point, which is, if you're listening to the woman, she's gonna tell you, okay, well, you know, I just got fired, or I'm looking for a new job. I'm going to college. I just broke up. My third baby daddy dropping a kid off. She's gonna tell you her business.
Yeah.
But if you mesmerized by her number, she's 36, 24, 38, or whatever she is.
Right, that's a clip right there.
Me personally, sometimes I ain't even heard what you said.
Right, because you think about what else you can get.
Right, she got these nice eyes and long
Yeah.
hair, and she talking, but I ain't heard nothing she said. I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind, you done?
Right. So you
Sip some of this Kool-Aid so we can figure this thing out. You feel me? And
It'd be like paying
is
attention.
you
She
finished
said,
or is you
"Well,
done?
I'm finna use you. Finna use you.
Right.
Well, I'm finna use you.
I mean, I
I'm
can
finna take
laugh
what
at
you
it
got."
now.
Right, but that's
But
the
that's how
old you.
that's the old me.
So you had to release him.
Oh yeah,
that's
that
spot on.
that don't serve me anymore because I understand that you can put yourself in a situation where now you changing energy with somebody.
Yeah.
You changing whoever they used to deal with. They still got trauma and everything. And now you mixing your trauma. You ain't even finished dealing with what you supposed to be focusing on.
Just
now you over
toxic.
here messing with this person. And really, you know, to really be honest, I think it's almost selfish. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
I can see
to
that.
grab this person and mess with her physically, and now she already damaged mentally.
Damn.
And now you figuring why she blowing you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You did it.
You did all that stuff, and now
Right.
you wonder why she won't go nowhere. She
You
already
causing
vulnerable.
more problems for
Exactly.
yourself, especially as
Right.
business
Man.
guys that we
Oh,
are.
Lord, you
Yeah.
better
We got
stop.
enough.
Why you?
We already working on accomplishing
Exactly.
in our business. Last thing you need is to have multiple people calling you because you wasn't, I'm gonna say what this word, mature enough to go about the situation the right way.
Man, I agree with that. Like,
You
I feel like as an entrepreneur who's successful, what I've noticed about the higher level entrepreneurs that are 7, 8 figures, all of them are married. If you're a man,
With one
all
woman.
of them are
And
married.
even if they are doing something outside of their marriage, they committed to one woman.
Exactly.
And all that other stuff is irrelevant because, like I was told, that man is not going to leave his wife for nobody outside of his commitment. You know, maybe that happens sometime, but at the end of the day, they do marry.
So that got me thinking like about dating, being a playboy. Like you need to, if you want to hit 1 million, you may got to get married. You may got to be focused on one person versus trying to put your focus in multiple places.
Yes.
I wish I would have known that back in the day, boys.
Yeah, but it's not too late. I mean, it's not too late. You know it when you
Yeah,
know it.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
real shit. You still
You
got a
did
lot
For sure.
of life to live.
Yeah.
That's all of us.
It's daily learning and knowing things. What was you gonna touch on?
Well, basically, I was for to just share my opinion, which is
I'm all ears.
always look at your goals again. So you got to ask yourself. This is what I asked myself years ago. Which one more important? Me to be such a successful business person, right? But then you don't want to be married.
Yeah.
Do you want to be? Is married more important than having a lot of money,
Yeah.
or is having a lot of money and maybe not even having a relationship more important? But when you start digging deep and really pulling the layers off and ask yourself, what are you standing for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because one day we're gonna be taken home, right?
Mm.
We ain't gonna be on this earth forever. So when people come to your funeral, right? I think of it like this when I meet people. If I leave here today, which one of y'all gonna show up to my funeral? Right? What they gonna say about me? Right? So for a perspective, if I'm out here slinging my Oscar Mayer, you hear me? And then my kids know this forever. They saw me do it in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. That what you gonna stand on?
You do.
Or you might say, well, I just care. As long as I'm a millionaire, that matters.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people can be a great husband, that he cooking, he doing everything, but he don't care about no money.
Yeah.
I applaud that.
Yeah.
It's just all about what's your goal, what you
That
feel
balance
comfortable
for
with.
you.
Yeah.
And to go on like what y'all was saying about the women and like what's your goals? Now when I look at something on like a place, I'm looking like, okay, is this aligning with what I got going on? I still like mess up sometimes, but that's how I'm looking at stuff now. Like, is this female aligned with what I got going on? Like, you feel me? Is she gonna slow the shit or, help me get, help me get to the goal or whatever?
Right. I love it because even where I'm at now, and it's like it's more purposeful for me. Like dating now, and then in my 20s, and now in my 30s, like the character purpose, and like you said, really in 30 minutes you actually can have a conversation, and then you can just like be like, nah, this ain't it. And now a moment for our sponsors, and here's Tiffany.
Real estate is the most important thing in the world. You don't own land, you don't own nothing.
My name is Tiffany Tayus, and I help individuals discover the power of ownership and how to scale that ownership in order to gain leverage and control of not only their lives, but also their future. I am available on all social media platforms. Come and discover how to scale your ownership.
Have you ever thought about investing in real estate but don't really know where to start? My name is Tiffany Tayus, and I teach individuals to start exactly where they are with what they currently have by investing in tax liens and tax deeds. I am the tax sale expert, and I teach individuals how to acquire real estate, mortgage-free, debt-free at the local courthouse. Connect with me on all platforms. My name is Tiffany Tayus. I have a monthly membership, and join me so you can get yourself some real estate.
Hi, I'm Marquita Beyond, and once again, I'm the host of the Picnic Podcast, and I'm here at the Pop Up and Create because Hunt said, I've told y'all time and time again, it's Liddy up in here, and LaShawna is just the great person to work with and get things set up for the podcast. Even filming my podcast when I had all this camera equipment and still couldn't get it right, she came in like a lifesaver because she's just as sweet, Hunty. So make sure you be sure to book Pop Up and Create for your event, your podcast, all sorts of things. Hit her up at Pop Up and Create. So we're gonna get back into the conversation. And so we're gonna move forward to the next question now. So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all manifest? Like women, we always talk about manifesting and stuff like that. So do y'all manifest as man?
For sure. I read that. I try to read it every single day I wake up. Because, like, growing up, I was always told what I couldn't do. Oh, you can't do this. You an idiot. So it's like, growing up, my self-esteem was low, like, real low. Like, I was good at stuff, but I didn't really believe in myself. But then, like, once I started tapping in and, like, going through real shit, I had to, like, get lonely and really learn who I was. So, like, yeah, I read that shit every day. Like, and it's been helping, too. Like, I start, like, manifesting and seeing certain shit I'm bringing into existence.
Amen.
Oh, wow. So what have you manifested? Can you ask?
I moved to Atlanta. I done got around the right people. Just, like, certain goals, like, trying to meet certain people, trying to meet this artist, trying to, you know, get cool with this person to do this. And then now I'm starting to, like, be intentional about, like, family stuff. Because, you know, sometimes, like, we trying to get money and make these moves. We forget about, like, oh, we got to spend time with this person. We got to call this person.
Yes, being intentional. That's part of manifestation.
Wow. Okay, for me, I do believe in the power of manifestation. I've been through it for the last, I've gone through it for the last 2 years, saying a manifestation mantra to myself every day, speaking success into myself, speaking life over myself, speaking life over my friends, that the people who can positively multiply the blessings, like because you're receiving a blessing through your manifestation, and those who I pray over that, they know how to do something with it. So what that means is you get a bag, or you're going to fumble it, or you're going to know what to do with it. You get a blessing, you're going to know what to do with it, you're going to fumble it. Okay. It's really been helpful for me, especially in my business. So one of the manifestations I say, I am an ATM business. I produce money through my actions. I use my time, my resources, and others to produce a significant improvement in the world for a major profit. Like, I want major profit. I want major success.
For sure.
I focus on my manifestations, and then I look at them as a business plan. Meaning, I try to think about what I can do to accomplish the goals, and then I take the necessary actions to accomplish the goals, to show God or the universe, whoever you may believe, that I'm serious. I'm serious about what I'm saying, and I'm capable of doing it, because it's important to remember that manifestations isn't just wishful thinking. Like, I want to make $1 million. No, I'm going to put together a business plan and this as a manifestation, and then I'm going to take the actions to get it done. Like, and then lastly, what I've been doing lately is praying, because you could say your manifestations, but are you praying, like praising God for what you do have?
No, for real.
Amen. Gotta be grateful.
Wow, that was awesome, man.
For sure.
I think my perspective on it is that I don't have a lot of experience manifesting. It's still new to me. This last few years has been a game changer. The words that I'm hearing, the people, the groups that I'm in, the Zoom calls that I've been in, the courses that I bought, because that wasn't my old life. I'm steady pulling layers off of the old me, right? And the bad thinking. So I think between the books, you know, that I've been in, and some of the networking events, just seeing people thrive in their business helps me, right? And now understanding that, you know, it's certain, I think they call binaural beats, right? Yeah. That you can listen to. Or you can have like, what they call mirror affirmations. I ain't hear about this stuff growing up as a kid or as an adult. Those words, I'm like, what is that? Let me do it. Okay, that's kind of cool. You know, or just sitting there, just having thoughts with yourself. Exactly. So busy.
That's good.
Yeah, I can do that now.
Because you knowing, having thoughts with yourself, whether you having the good thoughts or the bad thoughts, you know, you can change your
Exactly.
thoughts
Right.
now.
It's like
and you didn't know that when you was
a
younger.
sound of success. It's like alpha wave. So it's like we're having a conversation about how we can multiply when other people are having tunes of trauma. It's just like you talking about madness. So it's like there are ripples in your life versus, okay, well, you know, I'm successful and I prepare myself to be successful. So when the opportunity comes subconsciously, I'm just ready for it.
Yeah. But for like anybody coming up, like any young men coming up or women, get out your city and see other places, because that's going to really prepare you. Because before I started like going to different cities, I never knew a black person could have $10,000 in the bank, and that's not even a lot of money. So when I started traveling into DC and Atlanta, it's like, oh, so we can get rich. Because like I used to think $10,000 was rich. Like I was like, when I make my first 10K, I'm gonna be up.
I've been there.
You feel me? And I got it, and I effed it up type stuff.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome. Now I'm gonna tell you, just to speak on traveling, I used to look at it as like a liability, right? Or I'm losing money.
It's an expense. Yeah,
it's an expense. But now I look at it as an investment.
I like that. I love
Every
that,
time
man.
I go somewhere, you know, not just from like content creation, but like for example, last year, me and my family went to Puerto Rico, right? So it was my wife, my mom, and my youngest daughter. So it wasn't just about me seeing it. It's just about me bonding with my mom.
Yeah.
Like that's powerful. The older I get, I realize I got to spend more time with my mom.
Memories, create memories that maybe she didn't able
before.
do, you know.
Yeah, she ain't never been to Puerto Rico before.
Right.
But she always gonna remember that, right? But then my 9-year-old, it was her first time being on a plane. She needed to experience being on a plane at an early age. I'm looking at it like that. Not only just going out of the country, right? But also being on a plane, knowing it feels like to put your luggage on here.
Yourself to something new, to be able to continue to think on new levels and do new things, to get new things into your life. Like, and then you probably been manifesting and didn't know you was manifesting. So when you think about it, do you feel like you was manifesting the whole time and didn't know it?
It's definitely possible though, because I'm speaking the truth when I say I'm steady growing. I'm constantly analyzing myself every 3 months, every 6 months. So for example, every year goes by, I look at all my relationships like they on probation. Like, we growing or we not? Should I continue?
That's the way to look at it.
You know what I'm saying? We rocking, whether we blood or not.
That's one way to look at it.
Evaluations.
Evaluation, that's what it's called. That's what I do every year.
Yes.
I would just, for me, I would just pray, but I wasn't intentional. I'd be like, well, God, again, y'all glad for y'all not. I'd be like, well, give me a good girlfriend. I get a good girlfriend. She come into my life, but I don't know what to do with it. So I squander it. And be like, well, she come to my life. She's good for a few months, but then I cheat on her. So it's like the blessings that come to your life. Are you prepared to maintain them? The riches that come into your life. Do you know what to do when you get them and how to keep them? Because you can get a brand new car, but then mess it up.
Not to cut you off, but in short, why do you think you was cheap once you got the good woman?
Because I was ungrateful.
So you was ungrateful?
Like, I forgot how bad I wanted it.
And when you got it, you got used to it and then appreciate it.
It's kind of like a new car, though.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, my truck right now, it's not the newest truck. I see a bigger truck. I'm like, man, that's a nice truck. And I see somebody walking. It's a man, it's a woman, it's 2 kids. They walking. I don't know where they're going. Bust out. Who knows?
Yeah.
They probably like, man, that's a nice truck.
No, that's spot on.
So it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real spot on.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
They were saying that the person who got a car, when somebody on a bike see them, they were like, man, I wish I had a car like that, whether it's old or new. The person who on a skateboard is like, man, I wish I had a bike like that. Or the person who on a bus like, man, I wish I had a skateboard like that. But then the person who has no legs is looking at the person on the bus like, man, I just wish I had legs.
Yeah.
Right. True. There's another story I hear, but that'll be too long for me to go over right now. But okay, so far as purpose for you guys, so do you feel like you're living out your purpose, and what if you are, is what you're doing your purpose, or they just passion for you?
I feel like for myself, I'm on still C, like an alphabet, ABC. I feel like I'm developing the money to do the things that I want to do. Like, I want to do dope shit in Atlanta and then across. Like, I want to put people on game the way people ain't never put me on game. But it's like, I can't go to somebody else asking them for money. But if I got my own money, I can just go to the bank, go to the ATM, pull it out, and put it together. Like, we put something together, a mastermind, and we can help other people get into eBay. Because I got the money to do it. I got the knowledge to do it. I know how to do it. So it's helping me to get to step D and step E. Like, let me prepare for D and E and F right now. So I'm positioning myself to be more in my purpose.
That's powerful. I like that.
Powerful.
I'll let them go first.
Oh yeah, so the whole goal is, and that's probably for all of us up here, is to get a platform, get some money, take care of the fam, and then give back. That's the whole purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now I'm living in my purpose.
Okay. Well, I have, I guess, mixed feelings about purpose because I'm not quite moving in my purpose, I think, right? I also think that I am changing the trajectory of like my legacy of my family, right? Because I grew up in the country originally. My first 11 years on earth, I was raised on a farm with pigs and chickens, right?
Wow.
So we knew what hard work is. So still to this day, I'm gonna pick up a penny.
Yeah,
I remember weighing up
right.
like pecans to get $1. Like, damn, I picked all these pecans, ain't no but $1. So I still understand what work is and the value of $1, right? All right, but moving forward, you know, for my kids, I can show them you can have your own business because the only thing they saw, what I saw as a kid, you had to work for somebody. There wasn't no way around it.
Wow.
You know, you could get a trade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people had a trade or you go in the army.
Exactly.
But I was like, you know, I want to do something different. Like, I want to have my own business or something, right? So I kind of remind me of this speech Tupac said was, I may not change a thing, but I might spark something in the youth. And that's how I look at it. Like, okay, I'm only going to be here so long, but my kids can at least say, you know what?
Wow.
Dad worked here. He had these machines over here and it was making money over
Something
there.
they
He got this
used to
business.
see.
Yeah, so you don't have to work. I think it's okay to work. Some people should go to work. Sometimes I feel like I need to go to work. Right?
Amen. I feel
That's
like,
every entrepreneur.
but I swear to
Be like,
God,
hey,
when
maybe
you're
I
in
need
business,
to go work
every
for somebody
day is working.
This ain't what I thought.
I work 24
I'm
hours.
spending more than I'm getting.
But going back to purpose, I'm steady digging deep, making sure that I'm moving forward towards that. I think by me doing my YouTube page, I feel like I'm starting to connect with my purpose, right? Because I'm starting to help people. I hope I am anyway.
Amen.
That been through the struggles I've been in, right? I've been to a food pantry, right, where they give you food. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was a single father, I was in a position where I was like, well, okay, I couldn't work because I'm constantly
Take care
of the kids. So, you know, applying for food stamps. You know, to go in there as a man and sit around all these women and didn't know how to fill the paperwork. And I'm like, man, this what happened? But my point is, by me creating my YouTube page, I can help someone who say, well, damn, I don't know how can I make $50 a day? How can I make $100 a week this month? Now, I know it's a lot of great people in this room, on this Zoom call, on this YouTube that's making hundreds, thousands, millions. But I know what it feels like to be like, I just need $20 a day. I just want to grab me a little deuce. I want to get me some McDonald's for the kids, and I'm cool.
For sure.
And that's what you can do by following major hustles at YouTube.
Yes. Follow major
Let's
hustles.
believe I'm finna follow.
Tap in.
Major hustles.
Yeah.
If you got
Tap
any
in.
idea,
Better subscribe right now.
any
How long
ideas
you
on
been doing it?
how to go ahead.
Less than a year, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow. And so, pretty much y'all summing up. So, is any last words you want to say to a young man, a young woman sitting out there watching this show?
Listen,
Go for it.
your biggest downfall or your biggest thing that's gonna help you is the people you around. I'm telling you, I've been through it. They probably been through it. If you got somebody that's with you that's always in some dumb shit or always just doing the most, get away from them. Because as soon as you get away from them, you're gonna elevate. So get around people on the same wave as you, the same type of energy as you ASAP.
Okay, so I'm gonna go next. Besides your environment, basically what he was saying, it's very important. I'm gonna leave you with this: read some powerful books. Pay your kids to read some powerful books instead of having them clean up. Make them read the right books. That's it. I'm gonna leave y'all with
I
that.
ain't gonna let you just sleep. That's what I was gonna say. Give an example.
I'm gonna give you 4 agreements.
4 agreements.
Yeah, that's just something I just know everybody they like that book, and it's not overwhelming. It's not that big.
Simple.
Because I remember when it was challenging to read my first book, right? Yeah. So you got your 100-page books, you got your 200-page books, you got your 300-page book. I just want to start you off with a 100-page book that's going to be impactful.
Yeah,
And that's beautiful. I'm rocking with what he's saying. For myself, it can be tough when you feel like you got to fit in or when you've been dealt a bad hand. But one thing I've learned is that if you got nothing to do, find something to do. Find something to do, invest your time in it, because you ain't doing nothing with your time. Invest your time, become proficient at it, become the best at what you're doing. To my young man, because I've been that young man, I say learn to think independently for yourself. That's what makes you an individual amongst the masses. Everybody trying to fit in, but you speak for the masses. I know I felt that way when I was growing up. I wanted to be cool, to compensate for the neglect that I was facing at home. But the admiration, like to have the admiration on my classmates, like, dang, Dave is cool. Dave is a hustler. Dave got money. But I still couldn't really talk for myself. So what I wish I knew then, and I'm telling all my young men now, is to learn to speak for yourself. No amount of clothes, no amount of accomplishments, no amount of money can speak unspoken words if you can't speak it for yourself. That's why everybody want to be a rapper, because they speaking for the unspoken. It's important to remember that you are unique and to define yourself for who you are. You can have a purpose, you can have a dream, but you also got to be able to talk. So if you feel like how I feel, reach out to me. Dave at We Buy iPhones, I will put you on game. I will help you out. I help all my brothers out because I'm a solid bro. I know what it's like to not have nobody there for you. So I'll be there for you.
Wow. Did you all shout out your pages and stuff?
Well, yeah, you can follow me at ANTEUPD_.
All right. So, once again, I'm D Mathis. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me at TikTok. You can follow me on Facebook at Shoe Solution 6. And my major hustles is my YouTube page.
One more again, that's We Buy iPhones on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, We Buy iPhones LLC. And we talk about their business from the ground up of meeting people at the store to running your own six-figure brokerage and how there's so much opportunity in the electronics brokerage space. And just entrepreneurship, the things that I wish I knew that I'm imparting wisdom on.
Okay. Thank you, all. Thank you. It's been definitely a pleasure. And I'm going to say this before we even close out. Willis Witness stated, some men have 1,000 of reasons why they cannot do what they want to when all they need is one reason why they can. So these guys have came on here today and, just showed you and told you reasons why they're doing what they're doing. And hey, let go of any excuses that's holding you back, because like I always say here on the pink link, you are great in that life that you desire, you create. So get out and start creating, because you are the bomb. Diggity boo boo. The bomb.
That was amazing.
So, yes. Thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody.